seen again.
So check out these Corys right here, sitting in this wood. I mean, you got a lot of good stuff in here, man. Tell us about some of the invertebrates that you have in this tank.
Yeah, no doubt. So I got two different types of shrimp.
Okay.
I got a mono shrimp as well as ghost shrimp. Now I started off getting the ghost shrimp as feeder shrimp for my African butterfly, but I ended up liking them.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I decided to do was I decided to get way more ghost shrimp than the butterfly fish could deal with, giving them a chance to get established in the tank and hopefully be able to live as long as they stay in the back in those hides and stuff within the tank. So they got plenty of areas where they can hide at and chill at, and they're thriving now. So I got tons of ghost shrimp in here as well as a mono. The mono I got for the sole purpose of being a groomer. I mean, they really good species for algae eating, and that's what they're there for. This one here on camera now is egg laden. I wish
if I can get it to focus. Oh, you're good, okay, man.
I wish I could.
I'm good at fish, not photography.
No problem. I wish I could breed her. I mean, I wish I could get those eggs to actually hatch. But I'm not set up to hatch a mono shrimp. They're notoriously hard to do. They require brackish water. Yeah, so those are the monos. And I have two types of snails in here.
You got snails.
I've got Mr. Snails. Actually, you can see one nestled down here.
Oh, there's nice ivory right there. Okay.
Yep. Nestled down there in the Starepens. And I have Malaysian trumpet snails. And yes, I put them in there on purpose. Being that this was a sand substrate, you'll probably hear a lot of people say online that sand substrates are notorious for trapping air pockets. Well, the answer to that is Malaysian trumpet snails. Malaysian trumpet snails are burrowing snails, and they typically only show themselves at night. They're very nocturnal. And you'll see them attached to the glass all throughout the night. When you pop the light on, give them about 30 minutes to an hour, and they'll be back in the substrate. And they're burrowing through that substrate, releasing those gas pockets for me, keeping my soil nice and turned over. And I lied, I have three shrimp.
I was about to say, man, I see eggs all over the place. You gotta have some neorites in here,
yeah,
bro.
I lied about my third type of snail. So I got a neorite snail. I've got.
Can I find one? There go one right there. Okay.
Actually, yeah, right there, chilling next to one of my ghost shrimp is one of my neorites. The neorite are really good at the diatom algae. When I first set this tank up, when I first set another tank of mine up, I had a real bad diatom outbreak. Obviously, that's natural when you're first cycling a tank to get that diatom outbreak. Well, it got so bad that, and then that particular tank was in my showroom, I had to do something about it. So I went with the neorite snails, and they did an excellent job of cleaning it up. Them in conjunction with your auto cats, your autocinculus catfish. You put those two in a tank, goodbye diatom. And they did it. And so now I have them living in this tank. And they make their presence known by these eggs. These white eggs you'll see laid all in and around the driftwood here, as well as the driftwood over there. The good thing about the neorites is that you don't have to worry about them taking over your tank population-wise, is because those eggs will never hatch because the water conditions are not conducive for it. But yeah, I love neorites.
Same as the monos. I mean, they're awesome. Really awesome. I mean, let me get that one in a shot again. Look at that. I mean, just heavily buried female. I'm a sucker for shrimp. You know, it's probably one of the only Caridina shrimp that I really just love. So what we got here?
And so these are some clutches from some mystery snails. Now these you will probably have
focus here.
These you'll probably will have to worry about them reproducing in your tank. But if you don't take care of your clutches by taking them off of whatever surface they're adhered to and putting them, like here I have them in a damp paper towel, so they're not submerged in water. If you submerge them in water, you're gonna hinder the clutch. But you put a damp paper towel in some Tupperware, put your clutches, scrape your clutches off with a sharp razor blade so as not to hurt the actual egg sacs in the clutch. And then you're gonna put them on a damp paper towel And what I've done, and you'll see it in the corner of my tank there, is I just float this piece of Tupperware in my tank. And the condensation from the water and the humidity from the water will keep it damp. All I do from time to time is I'll go and I'll take a couple of drops of water and let a few drops fall on the clutch to keep them moist, and they hatch in no time.
And you just had some the other day?
In fact, I did just hatch some the other day, absolutely.
Now they think they're getting fed.
Yeah, they do. It is overdue for feeding.
Well, you know, on my channel, you can't say you're gonna feed the fish and then don't feed them. So you kind of done talked yourself into a hole there,
I'll
brother.
feed them before we're done.
Okay.
So speaking of feeding, I like to keep my fish real nice and healthy. So I do a feeding cycle.
Okay.
Monday through Saturday they eat. Every single day of the week they eat something different. On Mondays I'll do beef heart. Tuesdays I'll do brine shrimp. Wednesdays will be brine shrimp again. I'll follow that up by a cichlid frozen food formula on Thursdays. Fridays will typically be flake food. I'll use bug bites, cichlid formula, or I will use the Cobalt tropical formula. Cobalt's a really good brand. And then for my Autocats and my, believe it or not, there is also a Clown Pleco in here. But for those guys, I will supplement with some bug bite bottom feeder formula. And then Saturday, I will feed bloodworms. And then Sunday, I don't feed. Sunday is water change day. I will do my water changes. I won't feed on Sunday. Oh, and by the way, I feed once a day. I don't overfeed. I feel like you put too much. If you feed 3 times a day, like your typical back of your package will tell you to do, number 1, you're wasting food. And number 2, you're just going to put an overload of nutrients in your tank, and that's when you're going to get your algae outbreaks. But as long as you're feeding once a day, you're fine. Your average fish can go a week without eating. I'm not saying that that's recommended.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I fast mine. I'll fast mine.
Yeah?
They're lucky if they eat 3 times a week.
That's what's up.
And you see my
they're
plants,
probably
you see
fine.
my fish load, like it's totally fine.
Probably absolutely
I
fine.
mean,
Yep.
you got to think. We're talking about nature, you know. Nature don't come up to the riverbed with a handful of fishy flakes and
Every
say,
day,
here, fishy,
3
fishy,
times a
sprinkle,
day.
sprinkle. Yeah, they get it in when they can get it in because they know it's gonna be some hard. It's like being poor, man.
Yeah.
You know, you do it while you can because you know the hard times is coming.
It's coming, yeah.
You know.
If you feed them, they gonna eat.
That's how they roll. They already know. They program. You know, we talking about millions of years worth of nature programming them. They exploiting us. We not exploiting them.
That's
you know. So yeah, they ain't gonna starve. I promise you that.
And so the last thing is, I do run for filtration. I run a Sunsun 304B canister filter.
Yeah, I love the Sunsun. You know, it works.
It works. It's pretty.
It gets the
decent.
job done.
For the price, I couldn't beat it. I mean, there are better filters out there, but the Sunsun 304B is overkill for this 53-gallon tank. And in addition to that overkill canister filter, I have a hang-on back filter for one purpose and one purpose only. My hang-on back filter is simply so I can seed new media, so that if I want to start a tank or start a quarantine tank, I simply take the media out of the tank, and I'll come back into the camera view for this, or you can pan out or whatnot. I'll come out into the back of the tank. I'll grab some filter media that's been sitting in my hang-on back filter, nice and saturated with good beneficial bacteria. Throw it into a quarantine tank and keep on kicking. That way, I don't have to cycle a new tank. If something happens to my fish, I already got the media primed and ready to go. That's the only reason the hang-on back filter is even there.
That's a pretty good idea, man. I ain't even going. I do the same thing. I noticed something you're doing, and this is the cool part about coming and seeing how other people get their tank on. That was a marble bag, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm country. That's like a straight up dollar store marble bag. I love it. Reusing stuff. That was beautiful. That's brilliant. Hey, real quick, what's up with these suction cup gardens you got over here?
Oh yeah. So I saw this online on an online blog. These are imported from China. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the only things I don't source locally. But they're hanging gardens. And what I did was I put a sample plant from almost all the species of plants that I have in the tank as kind of a display specimen. So
Okay.
you'll see, and the one on the far right, I used to have the scarlet plant in there, Scarlet Temple. Mm-hmm. When I recently ran into the issue where the temperature was too high, she melted. So I'm gonna be replacing this one with probably a piece of Buse.
Okay.
And I'm gonna feature a piece of Buse.
I think the
once I'm
Buse
able-
it'll do real good in there. Actually, a
absolutely.
lot of people are using the hangers for the different varieties of Buse.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
you know, look, dude, you got 3 kinds of Buse that are recognized taxonomically. All the rest of them are just store names. You got
Okay.
Gigantea, you got Montliana, and then here recently you have Catronate. All that other stuff is just to get you to buy it.
Okay.
You know, there's different locales, but that's about it. You know, scientists are still working, but yeah, there's only 3 kinds taxonomically categorized. So
That makes sense. That
yeah,
makes
don't
sense.
let nobody rip you off
Don't let 'em fool
with
you.
a cool name. You know, hot chick on the beach, half naked. You know, philandra. Oh, I want that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's where the Buse Philandra is going to go once I get a nice little sample from there. In the second, hang on back, you have a suction cup. You have some dwarf hairgrass as well as a Crypt Wendetta.
Yeah, it's like crypty.
Right next to that, you have how the Star Rapids is supposed to look
Yeah.
when your Siamese algae eater doesn't go to town on it. And then on the far right, I don't know if you can see it or not, but
Yeah, you got
inside
something
of there-
tiny growing in the big one there. What's that?
That's some Monte Carlo.
Okay.
That's the only sampling of Monte Carlo I have left in the tank. Funny story, Star Rapids likes to grow over top of Monte Carlo.
Of course it does.
And so the entire Star Rapids carpet I got in the back near the Kabamba, that used to be a Monte Carlo carpet. Star Rapids was only relegated to the little front corner of the tank, and it made its way all the way back and overcame the Monte Carlo. So the only Monte Carlo I have left in this tank is in the little sampling.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that. I got microcanthamum coming out of my ears, so
Really?
yeah, dude, I'll give you a cup. Don't even
Okay,
worry about
okay.
it. We'll get you back into the Monte Carlo. It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot easier to grow than the Hemianthus, but you know, it depends on who you ask.
No, I love
I like
Monte
I
Carlo.
like the Monte Carlo. I like the leaf structure. I like the way it grows. Once it gets going, it's just like the Star Regina Repens, and it's just nice. It's nice. But yeah, you got a real good tank here, man. I appreciate you feeding. Everybody's doing their thing. I really want to say thank you to Daniel for inviting me into his home. That was really nice, and going over his tanks. He has other tanks that we've elected to film another day, and I'll explain that tonight if y'all catch me on live stream, which y'all will have seen the live stream before y'all see this video, and I'll explain that as well. Stay cool. I'm out.
Two.